Good morning. These are your Tribune highlights for Wednesday, November 19th, 2025, brought to you by Your Daily Bahamas Headlines. Be sure to subscribe to our new YouTube channel. Just search for Your Daily Bahamas Headlines, where you can click the subscribe button to hear the newspaper highlights daily while on the go. And share. Headline story: Returning officer defends impartiality in Golden Isles. The returning officer for the Golden Isles by-election, Neil Campbell, is strongly defending his impartiality after allegations surfaced regarding a potential conflict of interest. Campbell admitted during a press conference that he refers to Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis as his adopted father. However, he insisted that this personal relationship has never influenced his professional duties, nor has it compromised the integrity of the advance polls or ballot handling procedures. Campbell emphasized that all ballot boxes were legally secured, monitored, and transported according to established protocols. He dismissed any claims of favoritism or undue political influence and stated that his focus remains ensuring a clean and transparent election process. FNM leader Michael Pintard, however, said the returning officer's admission raises concerns, as election officials should avoid even the appearance of bias. Pintard stressed that unexplained wealth, political ties, and personal connections among public officials continue to undermine confidence in the system. Campbell countered that accusations of bias were baseless and unfounded, reassuring the public that the election process remains orderly, lawful, and transparent. High-speed chase ends in fatal police shooting. A chaotic high-speed chase through Kemp Road ended with a man fatally shot by police. Residents reported hearing gunfire as officers pursued a silver vehicle with multiple occupants. The man was shot while trying to flee the crash scene after the vehicle collided with a bumper on Children's Playground Road. Police say officers were fired upon during the pursuit and responded accordingly. Several suspects escaped and are being sought. NAPM's meeting with Arawak Cay vendors called a photo op. Vendors affected by Sunday's fire at Arawak Cay say the Prime Minister's meeting left them with nothing concrete. While government officials promise temporary assistance in future planning sessions, vendors insist that no firm commitments were made regarding rebuilding, timelines, or financial relief. One vendor said the meeting was just a show, adding that real help is urgently needed. SpaceX expects new booster landings before year-end. SpaceX hopes to resume Falcon 9 booster landings in Florida and California before the end of December. More than 20 additional landings are expected once FAA approval is finalized. Editorial and letters. If the economy is booming, why are so many in need? Today's editorial challenges the government's claims of economic recovery. Though officials say the economy is strong, the editorial argues that increased need for charity, food assistance, and social support paints a different picture. The Tribune calls for honest evaluation of the true state of Bahamian households. Letter: PLP will do what they always do. A writer criticizes the PLP government, saying its instinct is to protect its own, claiming the party functions through political favoritism and lacks transparency. The letter argues that ordinary Bahamians are consistently left behind. FNM have more to lose. Another letter warns that the FNM risks losing political momentum if it fails to unify and present strong leadership in the Golden Isles by-election. The writer believes the FNM has more at stake than the governing PLP. Judge rejects father's moral attack in custody case. A Supreme Court judge rejected a father's attempt to cast his estranged wife's same-sex relationship as immoral and grounds for custody loss. The judge ruled the father failed to prove the mother or her partner created an unstable environment and noted his claims lacked evidence. Mother and daughter deny trying to kill tenants. A mother and daughter from Fox Hill deny charges of attempted murder of 2 tenants in 2021. They allegedly fired shots at the victims during a dispute, but both defendants insist they acted in self-defense. Teen pleads guilty to having loaded gun. A 19-year-old pleaded guilty to illegal firearm possession after being caught with a loaded pistol in Baintown. He faces up to 5 years in prison. Haber, two armed robberies under police investigation. Police are probing two separate armed robberies, one involving a fake delivery driver who sprayed a store clerk with liquid and stole cash, and another involving a gunman robbing a woman entering her home. Soaring food demand pushes GB aid groups to the limit. Grand Bahama food aid organizations report overwhelming demand, with Meals on Wheels and the Red Cross both nearing capacity. Rising unemployment and increased need continue to strain resources. Ministry of Education fills most teaching gaps. The Ministry of Education says most teacher shortages have now been resolved, but language arts remains the hardest post to fill. BTC working to resolve landline and ALIV intermittent issues. BTC says intermittent landline and mobile service disruptions are being addressed. Technicians are working to restore full service. Top realty firm seeks escape in national interest case. C.A. Christie is disputing inclusion in a lawsuit involving Bryland Club and Conch and Coconut, arguing there is no proof they were unjustly enriched. The firm says intellectual property and investment laws must be interpreted properly in Bahamian courts. Fisheries sector warns of wide disconnect with Bahamas Trade Commission. Fish exporters warn that millions in exports are at risk due to tariff issues with the U.S. Industry leaders say consistent communication with the new Trade Commission is urgently needed. Close to capacity. Tourism surge won't meet Bahamar targets. Bahamar says strong occupancy will continue into 2025, but likely won't meet projected holiday season targets due to airlift and cost pressures. Cloudflare outage disrupts businesses. A global outage affected websites and e-commerce platforms in the Bahamas. Experts warn companies not to put all their eggs in one basket, urging better backup systems for online operations. PM offers reassurance, but no firm pledges after Arawak Cave fire. Prime Minister Davis told vendors the government will support recovery efforts, but gave no firm promises of direct compensation or rebuilding deadlines. Insurers say Arawak Cave fire highlights critical need for coverage. Insurance experts warn that many small vendors lack sufficient commercial policies, leaving them exposed to total loss in the event of fires or hurricanes. Shipyard graduates, 10 Bahamian crane operators. 10 Bahamians completed a rigorous 12-week crane training program at Grand Bahama Shipyard, strengthening local capacity for major maritime operations. Freeport tour operator expands 12-bus fleet. H. Forbes Charter Services added 12 new buses, strengthening tourism mobility and business partnerships with China. Procurement opportunities to be published November 24th by the Ministry of Finance. The Bahamas Cycle Company to hold its annual general meeting on December 11th. Legal notices regarding property claims, company windups, and quieting actions. And those are your Tribune News highlights for Wednesday, November 19th, 2025, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, keeping you informed even when you're busy and on the go.